guy Sue here. No nonsense, no how. Today, I'm gonna show you how to fix a bad fuel sensor on your Kawasaki Jetski. Now, you might have a faulty fuel sensor if I disconnect mine right now, I actually have a bypass, which I'm gonna show you how to do in this video, but just disconnected the sensor, and if you're running down the road, you got a full tank, and then you start this thing up, and wow, you hear that? I mean, that is just annoying, and it doesn't shut up. It doesn't tell you any information on here because it's flashing no fuel the whole time. So, come in here real quick. Now, first and foremost, to shut that horrible beeping up if you're underway and this happens to you, if you find the blue connector, yes, I actually painted mine yellow so I would remember which one it was, but if you just squeeze this little tab right here, push that in, and then pop this side off, disconnect that, shuts your beeper right off. Problem is, if you leave it like that, it's still flashing warning and you can't read anything else on your gauges here. You'll notice I covered mine up with tape because I'm going to show you the proper resistor you want to bypass that. Alright, now beyond unplugging this buzzer to eliminate the noise, you're going to have two ways to deal with this situation here and fix your problem. One is going to be get a brand new sensor for around $200 some. I'll try and find a link for you on that and I'll show you how to replace it. The other is getting a used sensor, which I did, and it only lasted me a year. I got it off eBay, looked to be in good condition, and it did the same thing as the old one, which I'll show you in a minute. Or get yourself a 5 ohm resistor and put that in between the two wires. So, to remove this thing out of the tank, if you're doing the resistor technique, you don't actually have to even remove the sensor. Just cut the wires right at the sensor like that, and then take this connector off over here, squeezing that, popping that off, and then you'll pull this wire out. And of course, this is only a 2-wire connection, and all you got to do, see, I have this block right here that I used a rubber hose and filled it with silicone, and inside of there I have soldered on this 20-watt 5 ohm resistor. This is actually for when you put LEDs on a car, LED blinkers, turn signals. This is to helps it from not flashing fast or whatever. I had a bunch of these laying around. So I'll also try and find a link for that. That technique works great, and then it just says you have 5 bars all the time, and then of course I covered this with tape so you know not to follow that 5 bars. Let's look at what actually fails in here though. By the way, came up with this 5 ohm resistor because with all of these, the way this thing works, when they're all up in this position, as in a full tank, I measure about 5 ohms between the ground side and inside there. That's I guess let's call it the positive side or whatever, the other side of this sensor. It's about 5 ohms when it's in the full tank position. And like I said, I've put this in there, I've taken this thing for a ride, no light, no problems, 5 bars all the time. That's a good fix. If you are removing the sensor though, remove that 8mm or 5/16 on the lower band clamp and work that thing out of there. Then you're going to have to remove your box up here, bunch of Phillips heads, and this just pops out, and you can get this whole assembly out of the tank. Now you could take this apart and rebuild it or try to, solder on a new connection, but basically what happens is, I think, when you're going over bumps, this thing's wiggling around like this in the tank, and it causes the connection up here, sorry about this camera angle, but it causes the connection up here to break. And when you go and get this rubber root off, you'll find this thing's pretty hard to actually service. Some of the main contributors that led me to bypass that sensor instead of buying a brand new one is, I don't want to spend $200 some on a new one. I believe the new one would break again eventually anyway because of the design flaw. Maybe not a design flaw, but whatever. They're all going to break eventually. And the thing was never that accurate to begin with, honestly. So I found myself always just going out with a full tank and knowing about how long a full tank will last me. If I was curious on the fuel level, I'd pop my hatch up and look down inside there in the tank, on the plastic part of the tank, in the hatch there, and see how much fuel I have. Works for me. Let me know what you think. And that method's tried and true. So let me know how you've made out, if you've repaired any of these and were able to, solder that connection in there. Let me know how you made out with that. Or if you found a better deal for one of these things brand new. These are pretty much the same for the STX15F and a lot of the older Kawasaki's too. If you got any more info, feel free to put that in the comments and I'll even add it to the description. Anyway, hope the video helps you out. If you've got that buzzing, beeping noise, it's pretty darn annoying, and it gets louder when you start the thing up because it knows, oh, you must be underway, you can't hear this, let me beep a little louder. KZ Guy 2, No nonsense, know how. You enjoy your day. I'll see you next time. Thumbs up, appreciated. See ya.